Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphaname. That's right, I dropped an early video this morning. No face video. Very fast to process. This article here is from the cryptobasic.com. We just keep winning. Now, they got something. I'm going to disagree with something here out the gate. Yes. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says, XRP returned to Coinbase listings following its impartial win against the Securities and Exchange Commission. For this reason, industry watchers have turned their attention to a potential collaboration between global money transfer giant MoneyGram and Ripple. Wait a minute. No. Wait, no. I'm going to disagree with you there. We covered an article here on this channel where there was some representative, I don't remember who, but my people probably do. Right after the case ended, I can't remember if it was one of the lawyers or some representative of Ripple, but they spoke and they said, hey, we're open to working with MoneyGram again. And that's what set everything off. And that's been sitting in the back of people's minds like, hey, there's the possibility. But we always knew that because of why they discontinued the relationship. Now, wait a minute. I know a lot of people are going to say, hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some Stellar in it. Wait, they're going to say, wait, they got a partnership with Stellar. But Stellar and XRP were always, in my humble opinion, they always work together. They go together very well. One focusing on retail, one focusing on wholesale CBDCs, the banks. Oh yeah, and remember, like I said, we also uncovered in one of those documents long ago that MoneyGram deals with, what was it, clearinghouse banks? There was some sort of very specific bank. They had like 4 of them on that document. So they're capable of moving big money as well. XRP could play a part in that. And they don't step on each other's shoes, so they can work with both Stellar and XRP and bring together this crazy potent union that we always knew was going to happen. It's been happening little by little. If you look at the regions they're both working in, but we always knew it was possible. Now, this hasn't happened yet, but I'm putting it out there that that's why people will be excited, because they literally said that they were open to working with them again. Unless that article was just, I mean, listen, they said it came from a representative. I remember there was a name. I just can't remember the name. I'll just leave it at that. But that's why, not because they got relisted on Coinbase, I don't think. But let's read this little tidbit here. Let's read the rest of this. It says, while MoneyGram is yet to revisit its ties with Ripple, the international remittance company announced plans to provide stablecoin remittances in 2022. For this reason, and Ripple's court ruling on July 13th that stated XRP was not an illegal security, speculations have intensified on whether the two companies will reinstate their partnership. We'll see. Well, they need us. Let me make that clear. They need us. Listen, folks, always stay in a power position. Never beg and crawl on the ground. Please take me back. Don't do that. Not in business. I don't know what you do in your personal life. No, I don't know what you do in your personal life. Don't do that in business. You always come from a position of power. Power can be neutral too. We both respect each other. Okay, we're going to negotiate. So they need us, but I'm going to say that they need us. We have so many banks in the back pocket waiting to pop off. That's big money. We're talking trillions, possibly scaling into quadrillions at some point if everything goes according to plan. Not financial advice, of course not. So, but we have central banks we're working with right now, and I'm just putting this in the proper context. So it's not like we're begging and crawling across the ground to get MoneyGram back. MoneyGram has to show interest. All right. They need what we have to offer, just like they need what Stellar had to offer, or else they wouldn't have dealt with any of the bank coins. But they're getting in because they know without the help of the bank coins, they're going to fall behind. I think that's well known. You just saw Stellar just bought a little bit of a stake in MoneyGram. You saw that, right? Stellar's making big moves, by the way. Oh, yeah, we got a nice little XLM article coming up next, but let's just leave that off there. Jump to the next article, okay? I'm going to keep everything flowing nice and smooth for everybody here. This article here is from the cryptopotato.com, and its title is XRP staging a recovery. Largest whales continue accumulating in preparation of Ripple bull run. You don't say. I mean, what people are going to say, they're going to say, well, we see this happen all the time. Not in this way. And listen, not at this particular time. where the global infrastructures are literally falling apart. We're covering what's going on in the US, correct? You see how bad it is there? Then you see what's going on in China and how bad it is there. You see what's going on in Japan and how bad it is there. I mean, we can keep going. You see what's going on in Russia and how bad it is there. The global financial legacy system, financial infrastructures are doing terrible right now. So they know that that could possibly affect the timeline of the deployment of the new financial system. You don't think it's rather peculiar that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they decide this year, when everything's going terrible, to deploy FedNow system, which it by itself is nothing, but to have offerings like Volante Tech and such associated with FedNow, which is a Ripple partner, right? So that's one. Then to also, then right after that, have the Hbar announcement. We have an article coming up about that later on, a chapter about that. The Hbar announcement, for whatever offering that, what was it, drop? It's also affiliated with the Fed. So you mean to tell me the Fed is just affiliating itself with all these powerful bank coin DLTs for nothing? It doesn't matter if it's a company building on that DLT or if it's the actual foundation of that DLT. It doesn't make a difference. Either way, they're using that technology. You mean to tell me they're doing that for nothing? The Fed is just diving into technologies for just for fun. No. Something's happening that never happened before because we have new precedents set. Simple as that. I had to repeat it twice for effect. Yeah. Ah, man. So I'm guessing that some people happy to see this mug here. The mug wasn't in the video earlier. Yep. This mug right here. Is what that's what. I'm sorry. Well, you wanted to see the mug, so I gave you a sight to behold. You imagine somebody walk up to you like that. Oh man. Imagine you approach me, I'm out in the world, you actually see a wild alpha name out in the world, and I'm just looking like I'm on cross-eyed, and I'm like, what's up, alpha name? I'll be like, let me get a few jokes in. Come on, man. Let me get a few jokes. Come on, man. Anyway, you guys so unprofessional. I don't know what's going on with you today. I don't know. You're cooking, not cooking. I like you. You got potential, Kate. I like you. Let's get to this next article here. It's on the cryptopotato.com. And it's titled, Two. Wait, I was going to do two here, then I'm trying to do two like this at the same time. 2 critical deadlines in the Ripple XRP versus SEC case. All right, let's see what's going on. They already admitted XRP is not a security. Officially, they admitted that in their newest one of their newest documents. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. It says the XRP price saw a significant downturn following a broader correction in the market, adding to the negative sentiment around XRP's price. The SEC recently filed an interlocutory appeal, which in one of those documents, they admitted that they did not consider XRP itself to be a security. Simple as that. So it says consequently, they have some bullet points here. Consequently, Ripple has to respond by September 1st, that we know. Next bullet point, it's in court. In its court filing, SEC highlighted that the focal point of the argument wasn't necessarily whether XRP classified as a security. Boom. That's it. That's what most people were interested in. We can play, baby. We just been unleashed. Simple as that. Anything goes from here on out. It's time to play at any point, any time. Who knows when it's going to happen, but that's pretty much what just occurred. They admitted it. They bent the knee. They lost. But let's keep going because they want to battle Ripple. The filing stated that the SEC did not intend to pursue an appellate review of any determination regarding the nature of the underlying asset. We knew that also. Well, we just discovered that. Next bullet point, the move generated substantial selling activity for the coin, raising concern. Everything sold, not just XRP. I hate when they make it sound like that. Everything went red. Everything went down. Bitcoin went down. Every ETH went down. Everything went down. I mean, you see a little bit of volatility now. Some things came back up. They'll probably go back down again. It's not because of any court case. No, not at all. Not at all. That's because, and I love it that people say that stuff. They say it was because of the court case. They said because of Elon, even though Elon sold before all of the different news came out. No. It's because there's a lack of liquidity And like I said before, if you're following True Financial News, they've upped the yields on bonds. They just upped the yields on T-bills. Most experienced investors are going to take their money out of risk assets that aren't doing much, and they're going to go into bonds and T-bills and lock in some of those yields, guaranteed yields. They're going to get some of those disgusting gains. And so that liquidity has to come from somewhere. I said it already. Go look it up for yourself. It's as simple as that. This is a simple game, folks. People are going to make money one way or the other. Right? So now it says next bullet point says, despite a slight recovery of 3.6% on Sunday and a prior gain of 2.17% on Saturday, XRP still grappled with a decline of over 16% throughout the past week. Once again, this is a long-term asset. This is about the future. This is a future asset. XRP, XLM, Algorand, Quant, Hbar, XDC, LCX, all of these different bank coins. These are for the future. That's it. These are not today coins. These are not meme coins. These are not coins you could pump. Nobody's going to be like, oh, well, this great thing happened. Plenty of great things happen. They don't pump. So that means what? That means when they do rise, it's going to have to be, significant rise is going to have to be based on catalysts. It's going to have to be based on partnerships. Simple as that. There's no one going to move these things just by word of mouth. I think that's been seen as well established. So when anything happens, whether it goes up or goes down, there has to be something significant somewhere that is occurring. And that's what people need to look for. All right. It's not so simple. I know people want it to be, but it's not so simple. Let's move on here to this next article. This article is a stellar article from finbowl.com. Good job, Finbowl. Appreciate you writing a little bit of XLM article. It says here, in the aftermath of a significant crypto market sell-off last week, which temporarily drove the total market cap to 1.1 trillion, this week began with a promising rebound for several altcoins, notably Stellar XLM ahead, joined by XRP, XDC, all bank coins, and Litecoin. All right, Litecoin is not a bank coin, but hey, they're enjoying the ride as well, I guess, in a robust recovery. I wouldn't call it robust, but okay. Says XLM even attained a peak of 13 cents during this run, yet the elation was short-lived as Stellar's fortunes quickly reversed, once again veering into the red zone. So it says here about the person who's making the prediction, I'm skipping a whole lot here. It says, to be more specific, Javon thinks 68 cents remains a key target for XLM, which we know is very possible, well, in a bull run and with the right catalyst. I will say that. You need it to either be a bull run or the proper catalyst has to be there. Something major has to happen. It says, but we know it's definitely possible. We lived through that last bull run. So we saw where XLM went. We know it has potential. It says Javon thinks 68 cents remains a key target for XLM, which, if materialized, would imply a price increase of a whopping 405%. Nevertheless, the likelihood of this outcome materializing seems uncertain. Like I said, it all depends, in my opinion, especially in the light of the persistent pressure confronting the broader cryptocurrency market. Yeah, so listen, regulatory clarity for the entirety of the crypto market. Stellar wallets being deployed everywhere, more partnerships. So I don't think we've seen, I think this is still a beginning. I don't think we've seen the heights that Stellar has to reach. I don't at all. I think the future is very bright and it's going to get very interesting, but it's going to take time. It's been taking time. This is nothing new. Nothing new. So now this article here is from Reuters.com and it's titled, more than half of U.S. small business owners believe the economy is already in a recession. Recession? I told you. It's more like a light depression. This economy is propped up. So now they have to admit it. Why didn't you say something months ago? This has been going on for a long time. Maybe you did say something and the article writers just didn't want to write it. Maybe that's what it is. Because I do remember hearing some things from small business owners about how they were how the struggle is real. It says here, marking a slight decrease between July and April, despite most firms reporting their own financial condition was strong. A survey released on Monday showed. The survey conducted in July from the National Federation of Independent Business focused mainly on small businesses' views on the state of banking and their credit needs, and also show small businesses are much less worried about the health of their bank. What? You better be worried about that. The banking system is having a hard time right now. It says are much less worried about the health of their bank than they were in the immediate aftermath of this spring's bank failures, including that of Silicon Valley Bank. They must not be reading do you guys get bank magazines? You should. American Banker, things like that. You don't get that. Let me tell you something. There's more banks at risk right now than it was during the whole Silicon Valley Bank debacle. There's so many that are swaying in the wind. Okay, well, to each his own. On the economy, 52% of small business owners. Wait, let me pause there. Even Janet Yellen is concerned about the banking system, but small business owners are not. You're not concerned. Janet Yellen is, and Jerome Powell apparently is. They both said more banks may have to congeal with the bigger banks, which is what? That's pretty much bailouts. That's buying up those banks once they collapse. We've seen it happen over the last few weeks as well, even though they kept it quiet, but we covered it here on this channel. I don't understand statements like that. It shows me that the information is just not getting spread around out there. Anyway, it says on the economy, 52% of small business owners said they believe the economy is already in a recession. You don't say. Just wait until the credit runs out and people can't buy your products anymore. Look that up. I'm not just saying these things off the top of my head. I like to joke around. I like to have fun. Every time I'm speaking, I mean, if I'm not just saying my opinion, which is based on what I've read, by the way, I'm speaking from articles, from professionals. The people are living off of credit. That's how they're buying all your stuff and getting your services. But here's a problem. Credit is starting to get maxed out. Hey, do what you want. So it says down from 55% in April, the survey found. That belief comes despite broad signs. So you better start preparing. Well, I can't tell you what to do. Not advice of any kind, not financial advice. But I would take precautionary measures. If I want to make it through here, if I'm a small business owner, I'm taking precautionary measures. What do I do when that money dries up or value dries up that people are using off all those cards? Then how do I still make a profit without stepping on too many toes? You get where I'm going with that? All right. That belief comes despite broad signs of strength across the economy and growing body of evidence that the economy could avoid a long anticipated downturn. That's how you feel? That they're going to. Says recent indicators have shown strong retail sales. What are they buying the products with? Every expert that I have read is saying, first of all, the Fed itself, Fred, they keep track of all the M2 money and everything. They said people's savings accounts are drying up. Not everyone's, but this is what their data is indicating about the majority of U.S. citizens. Their savings accounts and their checking accounts are drying up. That's number one. Number two, the experts are saying that they're buying everything with credit, which makes perfect sense. Those two things go together. You don't have the regular capital. You're living paycheck to paycheck because your $100,000 isn't worth what it used to be with all the price gouging or inflation, whichever it is. So you're living off credit. Okay, so when that dries up, then what? So when you're talking about retail sales, you got to put that into context, in my humble opinion. Or not. Hey, do what you want. It says, and rising spending on services, the two largest small business industries. It says, moreover, businesses see their own financial condition as strong and their local economies relatively healthy. Once again, just see everything I previously said. Moving on here. All right, let's move on, because I could talk about that all day. I really could. So now, Hbar Foundation made this tweet here, and it says, why did Drop CC, showcased by FedNow, decide to build in the Hbar ecosystem? All that matters is that they have that FedNow association. That's all that matters. To what capacity that they will be used, we will see. But that means they're in the door. That's what it means, right? To most people, that's what they're looking at. It says the answer is simple. Unmatched scalability and the leading at Hbar governing council of financial giants and beyond. This is a power statement from Hbar saying, boom, the gorillas are in the building. Little apes, get out the way before thee gets smiteth. I had to think of an old school word, smite. Remember that? Anybody ever watched the old school WWF, WWE with like Lord Steven Regal and all of those characters, right? And they would play like kings and things of that nature. And they would use these very interesting words like besmirch. You besmirch my name, I'll smite you, things like that. Oh man, that was so cool, wasn't it? Anyway, there's a power statement from Hbar. They're beating on their chest a little bit. They should. They've done a good job. They're going to be very powerful in the future. This is nothing compared to what they're going to do. You see, they're in the door everywhere. They're working on infrastructures in the MENA region, right? They're in deep with the biggest bank by assets in South Africa, right? They have a lot of other stuff going on in Africa as well. Then you see this here, this little bit, just them getting their foot in the door with FedNow is a major, right? I love Hbar. Yeah, one of my favorites. And then we're going to use that to go right here to another one of my absolute favorite bank coins. I think the one that has the greatest potential to explode at any time, the hardest, highest, fastest, right? Quant. This here is from Quant.network. It was attached to a tweet of theirs, but I'm going to read this little piece here. It's about digital twins, but look what they say here. According to a market report by Markets and Markets, the global digital twin market size was valued at $3.1 billion in 2020. It's projected to reach $48.2 billion by 2026, a CAGR of 58%. Businesses who run digital twins are able to take vast quantities of information from arrays of sensors to simulate and analyze performance, improve production, and reduce future costs. The concept is not new. Then it says here, taking the definition one step further, I'm skipping a little bit here. A blockchain-enabled digital twin is essentially a non-fungible token that corresponds to a real-world object or process. We see Vechain also getting deep here with those phygital things. That's pretty much what this is, right? It says, our Overledger platform includes powerful tokenization flows that provide a straightforward approach to any business owners who are thinking of creating a digital twin, and they should. It says, and who, in my opinion, and who wish to benefit from the myriad advantages of running such a project in a safe, secure environment. So this is powerful. You do realize there's only 14 million Quant. You do know we're sitting on a ton of Quant. You do know we're heavy in Quant. We like Quant over here. We love Quant, as a matter of fact. But understand that with all of these banks that Quant has the potential to work with, right? Because of LAC chain, because of SIA chain, SIA partners. I believe Nexi is the connector there now. Nexi, right? Don't quote me on that, but look it up for yourself, right? SIA chain, SIA partners, Quant. You'll see the connections there for yourself. Then they're doing this thing with the Bank of International Settlements. I think they have some stuff going on with them, some research. Then they're also deep in bed with the Bank of England on their CBDC. And now, amidst all of that, they're going to go after whatever type of NFT market this is they're talking about here, which obviously is big money, big business. Right? 48.2 billion. Keep in mind, Q&T is used for everything on that Quant Overledger. Subscription fees and things like that they can pay in fiat now. So what happened? They put their fiat in and it's immediately transformed into Q&T to render certain services. I mean, it's all this stuff they have, but Q&T is at the crux of everything. What happens to that price once everything starts to pop off and get actualized on Quant? You tell me. I'm excited about Quant. So now, I always think about Quant as a king or queen maker. I do. The sky's the limit on its potential. It has less circulating supply than Bitcoin, more utility than most because it can work with legacy system entities and DLT entities, new financial system entities. And it's the only one that connects them both safely. And they have the most respect as far as what I've seen. So now we have this little bit of Vechain news here. It says our activation team had a blast meeting community members of the UFC 292. Does Vechain ever sleep? They continue to work hard. Look at that. Look where that price is right now. Look where that price is. You think it's going to stay there? Next bull run? Or whenever there's regulatory clarity around the world, whenever that's going to happen, and they get to really play, and that traditional big money gets to step in. I mean, Vechain has, look at their ecosystem is absolutely huge. These events offer invaluable opportunities to network and build solid connections while expanding awareness about Vechain. They never stop trying to spread Vechain around. It says, and the possibilities of this emerging industry. Then they have this here, play with a powerful platform for free and with no coding knowledge. Like all of the big utility coins. You know, we've been with Vechain since the beginning. It's one of our originals, just like Polygon, Batcoin, all of that whole lot of just pure utility coins. They are all making it extremely easy so that when the time is right, all of that legacy money can flow right into them. They don't have to have the headache of worrying about coding or they don't have a difficulty deploying anything, running infrastructures. I'm very, very excited about Vechain. So now that you have the information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.